Steelers back to the drawing board. After Pickens' departure, eyeing bold trade solutions, the Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves navigating familiar terrain once more, searching for a reliable second option at wide receiver. Their offseason took a dramatic turn when they dealt George Pickens, a move that dismantled what many had hoped would be a dynamic duo alongside newly acquired DK Metcalf. That dream, two towering physical receivers tearing up secondaries, has dissolved before it could materialize. Metcalf, brought in via a headline-grabbing trade with the Seahawks and promptly extended, remains the focal point of Pittsburgh's aerial attack. But with Pickens now wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey, a glaring hole has opened on the perimeter. The question now pressing GM Omar Khan and head coach Mike Tomlin, who steps up or steps in as the wide receiver too. Training camp looms large, and the current receiver depth chart offers more questions than answers. Calvin Austin III, while electrifying in flashes, has been limited by injuries. Veteran Robert Woods brings experience, but is clearly past his prime. Rookie Roman Wilson, a promising Day 2 selection, is likely a year or two from becoming a consistent contributor. None of them fit the mold of a go-to wide receiver too for a team with playoff aspirations in an ever-intensifying AFC North. With free agency picked clean of top-tier options and most remaining names either aging or scheme-incompatible, all signs point toward the trade market. And one recent proposal, floated by Kobe Leovitz of Athlon Sports, has sparked buzz, if not for its realism, then for its audacity. The hypothetical deal. Pittsburgh sends Calvin Austin III, second-year cornerback, Corey Trice Jr., a 2026 fourth-round pick, and a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Denver Broncos in exchange for wide receiver Courtland Sutton and quarterback Jarrett Stidham. To some desperate Steelers fans, this is a dream scenario. Sutton, a former Pro Bowler, has consistently delivered despite a revolving door of quarterbacks and offensive philosophies in Denver. At 6 feet 4 inches, 215 pounds, he'd be an ideal complement to Metcalf, giving Pittsburgh two physically dominant outside targets. His skill set, toughness, contested catchability, and third down reliability perfectly aligns with the Steelers' historical receiver blueprint. But dig deeper, and the fantasy begins to falter. Why Denver would say no? From Denver's perspective, parting with Sutton isn't just giving up a top receiver. It's robbing new quarterback Bo Nix of his most dependable target. In 2024, Sutton hauled in over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns on 135 targets, providing much-needed stability in a turbulent offense. Expecting Nix to develop smoothly without that safety valve is a risky proposition. Financially, Sutton's deal is manageable. His contract places him 25th among wideouts in average annual value and 9th in cap hit for 2025. A reasonable cost in today's market where receiver salaries continue to climb. Denver isn't strapped for cash, nor are they in rebuild mode. They're attempting to build around a rookie QB contract, precisely the time when keeping cornerstone players makes the most sense. As for Stidham, while not viewed as a long-term starter, his presence is invaluable. He's become a mentor to Nix, helping bridge the gap between rookie mistakes and NFL expectations. Moving him would leave Sam Ehlinger as the only backup, an uninspiring fallback, Pittsburgh's angle and its flaws. From the Steelers' vantage point, this trade is appealing. Sutton instantly upgrades the WR core, and Stidham adds veteran depth to a quarterback room currently headlined by Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and rookie Will Howard, none of whom have cemented a starting role. But let's evaluate what they're offering. Calvin Austin III, explosive, but undersized and often injured. His future projects more as a gadget player than a reliable wide receiver, too. Corey Trice Jr., intriguing physical traits, but he's still a developmental player who missed all of his rookie year. 2 late-round picks. These are valuable for roster building, but hardly the kind of capital needed to pry away a starting-caliber wide receiver and a dependable backup quarterback. It's a lowball package for 2 critical pieces of another team's puzzle. The bigger picture? Context. Over-fantasy trades aren't made in a vacuum. Both teams believe they can make playoff runs in 2025. The Steelers may have a stronger recent track record, but Denver sees a bright future with Nix under center and a defense capable of anchoring a postseason push. Asking them to part with their best receiver and quarterback safety net for role players and mid-round picks doesn't align with that trajectory. This isn't Madden. In real life, chemistry matters. Continuity matters. Development hinges on stability, not just stats. What comes next? Omar Khan has already proven he's willing to make bold moves, as seen with the Metcalf acquisition. But if the Steelers truly want someone like Courtland Sutton, they'll need to step up with a serious offer. That likely includes a 3rd-round pick at minimum, perhaps alongside a young player with starting potential. Alternatively, Pittsburgh may wait. Should Denver's season spiral early, Sutton could become available closer to the trade deadline, when motivations shift and values become fluid. In the meantime, Pittsburgh will continue scanning the market for reinforcements. Whether through trade or what's left in free agency, the mission is clear. Replace Pickens with a legitimate threat, not just a warm body. Because in today's AFC North,